Good day to you, everyone. And this is Gino Kurira, aka also called Black Leather. You can also use the acronym LB, and don't mind that. Okay, so we are gonna start today strong. We are gonna start today strong, and we are gonna do calculus. And the topic that we're gonna do today is hyperbolic functions. It was a special request from one of my friends, and let's do it. Let's see how we take this. So first of all, we are going to start with the basic definitions. We start by building the foundation. So the foundation that we are going to do, I'm going to start with is the sine and the cos hyperbolic functions. So for us to understand these functions, for us to understand these functions, we have to know what it means. And these functions are defined in terms of exponentials of e. They are defining exponentials of e. But so, this is the meaning of sine h of x. It's equals to e to the x minus e to the negative x divided by 2. And cos hx is equals to e to the x plus e to the negative x divided by 2. So the only difference between these two is the minus sign for the sine and the positive sign for the cos. And a good way to remember this one is by using the fact that, you see, sin is there. Like sin is there, like, this person has been sin, or like, sinful, or whatever you use. You understand? But since there is sin there, you know what to use there. Then you know to put a negative there. And when you have a good reason, you can just say because, and then all your things will be sorted out. You can just say, okay, I didn't do this because, and then the person will understand. When the person understands, it's good. So since it's good, it's a positive sign there. So it's sin because it's not good, simple. Oh, and then because if you have a good reason to do something, then because, and then it's good. So it's like that. So this is how they start. So let's continue. So let's continue with the tangent function. Tangent function of this tan h of x. What does it mean? So since like the tangent function is equals to the, the ratio of these two, it means it's sine h of x divided by sine h of x divided by cos h of x. Cos h of x. You guys have to forgive me. Yeah? So it's cos h of x. But what does it mean in the terms of exponential? So let's see what it means. We know the sine h of x is equals to, okay, e to the x minus e to the negative x divided by 2. And then there's a bigger division right here because of this one, because of that one, and then we put the definition of this one, which is e to the x plus e to the negative x divided by 2. Divided by 2. So, since this is the definition, let's just write it in terms of basic to make ourselves understand. So we continue with this one. With this one, we write it in a much simpler way, which is e to the x minus e to the negative x divided by 2. Divided by 2, which is divided by e to the x plus e to the negative x divided by 2. And then dividing these two, we have to, since we are taking a division of two ratios, which is the ratio of this one and the ratio of this. So from from arithmetics, we know that we have to take the reciprocal of the right side. So we do this, okay, e to the x minus e to the negative x divided by 2 times the reciprocal, 2 divided by 2 e to the x plus e to the negative x. This one cancels, this cancels each other. And then the product that we have is e to the x minus e to the negative x divided by e to the x plus e to the negative x. And this one, the thing that we got, the function that we got is equals to the hyperbolic tangent. So in hyperbolic terms, this one is the like this is like it means the same meaning. So for the other functions, we know there are six trigonometrical hyperbolic functions. For the other ones, we know that if you take cotangent, co cotangent, cotangent hyperbolic, we know that that is equals to 1 over tangent hyperbolic. And we know from that that this is equals to 1 over e to the x, which is this, e to the x, minus e to the negative x divided by e to the negative to the x plus e to the negative x. And since it's 1 over this one, it means it will just take the reciprocal. So since it will be cot hyperbolic x, cot hyperbolic x of e to the x plus e divided by e to the x minus e to the x. So that is how we start with the basics. And then the possible questions for this exam is that if I tell you the truth, mostly they won't ask you the domain. So the domain, the domain, no, they won't ask you the domain. No, they won't ask you the domain of these functions. And they won't also ask you the graph. Understand? They won't also ask you the graph of the function. No. They won't ask you the domain, not the graph. The only thing that they will ask you in these questions that are related to hyperbolic functions is mostly, it will be mostly based on um solving equations, like solving equations plus deriving them, derive, oh, sorry, derive, deriving them, and the other one that they can also is to take the derivative of them. And the other thing is also to take the derivative. Notice I said there is a difference between derive is coming to the ones, and this one we will take in the next video of how to derive them. We will use them in the inverse functions. When you are going for inverse functions, we will use this one. And then the derivatives, like it's very similar to the other ones. I don't think I will go through the one, but I will just go through the ones for derivatives of inverse functions. So in the next video, we will talk about deriving these ones for the inverse functions and also coming for them, coming for the derivatives of the inverse functions and how to derive them. So the only two things that they can ask you is like primary is just deriving them, solving equations with that involves them, and then deriving them. So let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. So if you're continuing, as I talked about earlier, these are the type of things that they will ask you, which is the equation. It has an equal sign there, and it means it's an equation. Okay, let me use something that is more softer, like a pen, because I think like it's not so clear for this one right there. And then try to use a pen. So how do we start with this? How do we start with this? Okay, first of all, we have to look and find a way that is much easier for us. So what do we know? What we know is like we have the exponential function here, we have the exponential function, like we have this one and this. But the good thing is we have a hyperbolic function here. The thing is, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's take these to the right hand side, and then we will have like 7e to the 2x minus 1 is equals to positive 4 of e to the x plus just because, you understand? E to the x divided by 2. E to the x divided by 2. Now, we have to continue. Oh, I see this one is even much worse. So, we will have this. Okay. So, since we have this, we move this one to the right side. First of all, what we did is take this one, move it to the right hand side, and then we use this one to use this one. Use this one to convert it to this one. But one thing is what is x equals to? What we know that x is equals to, it's evaluated at what? Is okay, x is evaluated at what? 2x. You understand? X is evaluated at 2x. So we have to change this. So we have to change this and this to 2x. So it will be 7e then x squared minus 1 is equals to, let's cancel out this 2 from that 2. So it means these 2 are like these 4 divided by 2 is 2. So is 2. And then we evaluate x, the x at 2x. So it will be e to the 2x, e to the 2x plus e to the negative 2x. Okay, now things looks much simpler, but we are still not done because we have a term which is not in ease, and we also have a like we also have a reciprocal of it, like we also have a reciprocal, but we will deal with that in a moment. So what we do here is we multiply first. The thing is, as long as you don't get the thing, use the basic arithmetics to get, use the basic arithmetics, the arithmetics that are possible that are coming up, and the arithmetics and the algebra that is coming up to get to the conclusion. So e the negative 2x. Okay. Now, one thing is we want to remove this. How do we remove this negative inverse? So we multiply by what? We multiply by e to the, we multiply everything with e to the 2x. When you multiply e to the 2x with everything, we get here 7e. And from laws of exponential functions, it will be e to the 2x plus 2x. And this one will be e to the 2x, which is equals to 2e to the 2x plus e to the 2x plus 2e to the negative 2x plus e to 2x. Okay, and from here, you see that 0 minus 0, like we see that 2x minus 2 negative 2x plus 2x will be e to the 0, which will equals to 1. So we found a term which is in the form of this, which is 2e to the 4x, e to the 4x plus 2 on the right side, and on the right side, and we have e to the 4x minus e to the 2x. Okay, we see similar terms right then. So let's move this, let's move the right side. Let's move the right side to the left side. To the left side. And when we move this to the other side, we see that it will be, we will see it will be 7. We see that it will be 7e to the 4x. It will be 7e to the 4x. It will be 7e to the 4x minus 2e to the 4x minus e to the 2x. equals to 0. Okay, things look interesting. It looks complicated, but it's still not over. So we are going to continue onwards. So we are going to do this. Okay, we have e to the 7x and we have these. Okay, since we have these, it means this and minus like 7x minus that will be minus, so we will have what? It will be 7 minus 2, which will be 7 minus 2, which will be 5, which will be 5 e to the 4x minus e to the negative. Sorry, this is not a negative. Sorry, this is not a negative because it's just this one that came down there, so it's not negative. So it's just 2x, which is equals to plus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, we got this. Since we got this, now the question is, how do we continue? But what is 4? 4 is equals to 2 times 2. Okay, since 4 is equals to 2 times 2, we can do this. We can do this. We make 5 then. We put 5 there. E to the 2x times 2, which is that 4 breaking up. The 4 is broken up there, which is 4 is broken up there. And then we get e to the 2x. We get e to 2x plus 2 is equals to 0. And then we say, okay, let e to the 2x equals, let e to the 2x equals t. Oh, then this is what we get. Then it will be 5t squared minus t plus 2 is equals to 0. And now we have come to what is more familiar to everybody, a polynomial function of degree 2, which is a quadratic function. You understand? So which is a quadratic function, and this one we can solve it using the quadratic formula or by factoring. But this one will not factor, so it means we have to use the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula goes as, okay, the quadratic formula goes as like this. The quadratic formula goes as the negative of the b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2. Divided by 2. So it means t is equals to t is equals to t is equals to negative 1 plus the square root of negative 1 squared, negative 1 squared, negative 1 squared, negative 1 squared minus 4. What is 8 is 5, and what is, sorry, I made a big mistake. Which is this 2, when it goes back to this side, is supposed to be negative. So this is supposed to be negative, and this 2 is supposed to be negative. Sorry, I made a big mistake right there. Made a big mistake. Okay, and it will be negative 2. Okay, welcome back. After making that mistake, we got it right. Okay. So we have that which is equals to 2, which is equals to 2 of A is 5. And from there, or t is equals to negative 1. T is equals to negative, t is equals to negative 1 still, negative 1, minus, this time it's a minus right here, square root of the same things. Okay, okay. Since we got here, we just have to evaluate this, which is, let's see. Okay, which we have to evaluate this. We just have to take this negative of negative one plus the square root of -1 squared minus 4, 5, -2, the whole thing under 2 times 5. Okay. Okay, since we got there, now we just have to do. Oh, sorry, made a mistake. Okay, I didn't put a product here. So let's just put a product there. Okay, wait. Sorry, let me just put it down. Okay, sorry for that. So it will be t is equals to plus of this of 10, or by putting a negative here, delete -1. What is going on again? Okay, or t will equals to be 141 divided by 10. So those are the two t's. So we change back, these t's into e of what? E of 2x is equals to 1 plus the square root of 41 divided by 10. And then for us to do change back to find the value of x is take ln of both sides. When you take ln here, when you take ln and ln of this, we'll get 2x is equals to 1 over the square root of 41 divided by 10. And then divide both sides by 2. So that's 10. Divide both sides by 2. We'll get, it will be this divided by 2. it will be this divided by 2, which will be 1 over square root of 4n divided by 2 divided by 2, which makes x equals to 1 plus the square root of 41 over 5, or x is equals to 1 minus square root of 41. Sorry for that. Sorry for the silly mistakes of that. So this is the solutions that they might give you. Okay. And then going on to the other one is these are the type of questions that they might come up with. But let's look at this one. This one looks extremely intimidating. This one looks extremely intimidating because you have a cos function right there, hyperbolic in fact, and then you have a ln inside. And then we have a sine hyperbolic function. And then we have a ln of x over 2, which is a ratio function. And then a ratio outside there, which is 7 over 2. Okay, it seems intimidating, but we know what we can do. As long as we know and understand the definitions of cos and sine, it's easy because this will come into handy. Because we know cos hyperbolic means that it's cos hyperbolic evaluated at ln x. So it will be e of ln of x. E of ln of x divided by 2 plus, since it's a cos, e the negative of ln of x minus now the negative one, which is 2 e ln of x over 2 minus e ln of x over 2, and this one is negative. Now we see two things that are very interesting. We see two things that are very interesting. And this is 7 over 4. Okay. What can you do? We combine the functions. Which is 2. We take 2, and then we just do this. Open the bracket is ln of x over 2 minus e ln of x over 2 is equals to 7 over 4. This was 7 over 4, and this function, which is equals to e to ln of x plus e to the negative ln of x. Multiply everything by 2. Multiplying everything by 2, we get that e to the ln of x plus e to the negative ln of x minus e to the ln of 2 over e to the negative ln of x over 2 is equals to 7 over 4. Okay. Now we have something that is very interesting. We have to recognize the fact that ln, and e are inverse functions. And since that is an inverse function, it means we use the rule of exponentials. The power of an exponential function is equals to the same of itself is equals to that. You understand? Plus this one. Now let's look at this thing. Let's look at this. Let's take this one on the side. It will be e to the ln of x, negative. But the logarithmic rule says that we can take this one as a power. Take this one into the like the negative inside to make it a power. So it will be e, it will be e to the ln of x to the negative. It will be e to the ln of negative. And when we see that, we know that it will be e to the ln of 1 over x. And from like from exponential rules, this will be equals to 1 over x. That's how we get here 1 over x. And the negative goes in there, we get e to the x over 2. And using the same fact that we use for this one, it will be plus 2 over x is equals to 7 over 4. Is equals to 7 over 4. Okay, is equals to 7 over 4. Since we got here, I'm not going to go through the arithmetics because arithmetic is not necessary. But let me tell you what I did, and then you guys have to do the arithmetics on your own. So the arithmetics says, the arithmetics, not the algebra, but the arithmetics say, like, what I first did was combine these two to make them a single product, and combining these two to make a simple product, a common product. After combining this one and this one, you will get 2x squared plus 1 divided by 2x plus 4 minus x squared over 2x. Okay, these two, first, when you combine these two, you won't get these two. But to make it even, like I multiplied with 1, so I have to, so that I compare, like get the same, they are like the same denominators. Basic arithmetics, just focus on the point, like just look at the thing. After you combine these two, like this is the combination of this will give you this, but the combination of this will only give you the second part. But I skipped the step by multiplying this one, the top and the bottom, by 2 to get the common denominator. And when I got common denominator, that's where these 2's are coming from. So it will be now, it will be 2x divided by multiplying in, which is equals to 2x squared plus x x sorry 2 plus 4 minus x squared. Okay, and then from here we see that these two minus each other, and these two adds, and these two add, and these two the other two minus each other, and the other two add. So it will be the solution that you will be getting here. This is equals to 7 over 4. What you will be getting here from this is equals to x squared. X squared, this one is gone. And 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is equals to, okay, 6 plus 6 divided by 2x is equals to 7 over 4. Sorry, this is supposed to be 2. This is supposed to be 2. This is supposed to be 2. Sorry again for the big major mistake that I've done, because I multiply everything over 2. So these 2 cancel the 2 there. So that's why this one is supposed to be 2 everywhere. Everywhere. So this is supposed to be 2. Forgive me for that, but I'm not taking this video. No. So after that, you take the cross multiplication. When you take the cross multiplication, you get that this times this, you will get 14x. You will get 14x, and this times this, you will get you will get 2x, because this 2 is multiplying with the 2x under there. 2x, okay, plus 6. And then what will we get? What are we getting? What are we getting? Again, we are back to the same thing again. We're back to the same thing again. We're back to the same thing again, which is equals to 2, which is equals to, which is equals to 2x squared plus 12 minus, taking this one to the other side, minus 14x is equals to 0. A quadratic function. And then you use the formula, the binomial formula, binomial formula, not the binomial, but the quadratic formula, which is b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, divided by 2a. And okay, let's just finish the video. Let's just finish the video. So it means that x is equals to what? What is b? b is equals to b is equals to b is equals to negative 14. So we put the negative 14 plus square root of negative 14 squared minus 4 minus 4. What is a? A is 2. 2. And what is the other one? The other one is 12. 12 divided by what? Divided by 2. And what is a? A is what? A is 2. Or let's just put a plus or minus that. So x is equals to plus or minus that. And these are the things that they will most likely give you in the exam. Okay. So have a good day, everyone. And this was again Gino Carrera Black Leather. And forgive me for all the silly mistakes, but this is just to help you guys to get a basic understanding, or like I know you guys will do it. So that's the thing. So let's keep it local, let's keep it cool, and let's end this video with a bang. I'm not gonna sing the lullaby to you. I also bless you guys with this sneeze. Okay, all right.